Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lover Society with me, Gert Retief, and tonight I am talking about 18-year-old whiskies. Well, my top 5 18-year-old whiskies. I've been drinking whiskey for many years, and in the start it was blended whiskies, and every now and again you had an opportunity to try an 18-year-old whiskey, and I think that for me was the top tier for many years. So not a lot of opportunities. Having moved to Belgium, closer to the source of most of the whiskies, I did manage to try quite a number of 18-year-old whiskies over the last 2-3 years. And I must admit, there were some real nice ones, some mediocre ones, and ones that well, I'm not going to even mention or try in the future. So I thought it was a good idea just to go through the list of 18-year-old whiskies that I've tried over the last couple of years, pick my favorite, maybe do an honorable mention on 1 or 2 of them. But in general, there was some real nice whiskies, and in no particular order. I'm going to mention as a starter the 18-year-old Dalmore. Now, it can be a total hit and miss for a lot of people. I did try it a couple of times, and it didn't make the list. I think it was just short of the list. I did enjoy it, but I thought it was a little bit one-dimensional, and I know there's a lot of people that don't really appreciate Dalmore anymore. I don't think the quality and the prices is on par with each other. The other honorable mention, and I know it's going to be maybe piss off a couple of people, that I know a lot of people do like it, and I'm talking about the Highland Park 18-year-old. I did enjoy it. It is a fun whiskey. It was a safe whiskey, and a lot of people do like it, but unfortunately it did not make the list for my top 5 18-year-old whiskies. So in no particular order, I'm going to give my short list of 5 whiskies that I've tried over the last couple of years, and I think it is good, well, not value for money. Some of them can be very expensive, but I think that this whiskey, price aside, that I will definitely would love to always have a bottle in my bar. So I'm going to start off with the Lejeune 18-year-old. Now, this is something that a lot of people have been raving about. They've been talking about it. They've been making videos about it. And of course, I had to go try it myself. It is non-chill filtered. It's bottled at 46% ABV. And of course, it is natural colored. It is, of course, matured in sherry cask. It's peated. It's earthy. It's woody. It's smoky, it's briny, it's a little bit of a funky note, it's a little bit of a perfumey note, dried fruit, salted caramel, and of course a little bit of a dark chocolate note. Definitely not overly sweet, not a sherry monster, and there's a little bit of a vanilla coming out. On the taste, absolutely fantastic on the taste. You get the peat, you get the caramel notes, raisins, dates, little chocolate note, a little bit of an apple pie note. Really a stunning whiskey. The next one on my list is the Belle Blair 18. A little bit of a surprise. I found a online sample, and I was quite excited to give it a try. It was my first time of a Belle Blair, 46% ABV, natural color, non-chill filtered, and of course the flavors that came out was absolutely fantastic for me. It's dark, it's sweet, it's sherry, it's spicy, it's intense, it's woody, loads and loads of oaky notes, dark honey, red toffee apples, and some caramel on the nose. just be warned with this one, it does need a little bit of time in a glass. It really opens up to something that is fantastic, and maybe with a little bit of time, less intense on the nose. On the taste, it is loads and loads of oak. It's intense, that kick in the mouth, warm sweetness that comes out. You get all the raisins, dates, figs, all the dried fruit, that little bit of a Christmas cake. It's woody, earthy. There's caramel notes, red apples, quite pleasant on the taste as well. So nice combination from the nose to the taste. Really a nice 18-year-old whiskey. The next one on my list is of course the Baines Pedro Ximénez 18-year-old. It's bottled at 50.5% ABV, and of course it's matured in Pedro Ximénez cask. It is a single grain, and of course it comes from South Africa, and I must admit it's a little bit like a bourbon wannabe for me. It is fantastic. It's sweet. It's Christmas cake. Well, it's Christmas cake in a glass times 10. That fantastic, lovely, great, intense, sweet flavors from the Pedro Ximénez sherry. For me, it's a little bit like taking Pedro Ximénez sherry and up the alcohol level to something that's very high ABV. So it's more like it's more like Pedro Ximénez than whiskey. It is definitely for people that love a very sweet whiskey. It's got all the lovely dark flavors in it, intense flavors, hotness of the high ABV. For me, that is one of the best whiskies that I have tasted in quite a long time. Super sweet, dates, figs, raisins, you name it, it's definitely in this whiskey. So one of the nice whiskies if you are into the high level of sweetness. On the taste, of course, it's a complete different thing. It's intense explosion of flavors. It's triple the sweetness that you would expect in any whiskey. No bitter notes, no oakiness. It is just sweet on sweet on sweet. It is really nice. It's more like a dessert whiskey than anything else that I've tried. The next one on my list, of course, and I've seen a couple of people that reviewed this one. Now, you have an older bottle and you have a new bottle, and of course I'm talking about the Buna Haven 18. And funnily enough, I just passed through Ethiopian Addis Ababa airport. They still have some on offer. On my previous duty-free review that I did, they also had some Buna Haven 18, the old bottle, available, $250 a bottle. So definitely not a cheap one. But when it comes to the flavors, well, I'm not sure if I'm willing to spend $250 now on it, but it is sherry, it's mellow, it is dried fruit, it is musty, it is dusty, it is like a little bit of a cooling effect, like a little bit of a minty effect that you get when you drink it. It is vanilla, a little bit of a cinnamon note. It is mellow, sweet, well balanced whiskey. And of course, when you taste it, it's a nice sherry monster. It's got that dark fruit notes. It's got that sweetness. It's got that little bit of a dark chocolate with a bit of raisins that you mix in your mouth. Oh, my mouth is watering already just thinking of it. Now, I've did try the newer bottle. For me, the older bottle was definitely much better. Now, of course, if you want to try this one, you need to go and you need to spend a little bit of time online. You need to find this obscure little duty-free shops, maybe, especially in Africa. You're still going to pick it up, maybe on online auctions. If you find one, and maybe not so much as the $250 for a bottle, definitely give it a try. The next one on my list is something, again, that I have tried, a new bottle and the older bottle. And of course, I'm talking about the Aaron 18-year-old old bottle. And of course, I compared it to the newer ones that coming out now. And I must say, the older ones was so much better for me. 46% ABV, natural color, non-chill filtered. Oh dear, and I can tell you it is absolutely stunning. That is my kind of whiskey. It's fruity, it's fresh, it's dark fruit, it's got all that pears, apple notes coming out. You have that vanilla notes coming out. It's a little bit of a nutty note. I get sometimes a little bit of a pineapple note, a hint of a banana on the nose, and of course, dangerous whiskey. It is just something that I just love to sip, enjoy, evening, undiluted, just to give it a small sip and just to forget about the stress of the days. Taste wise, you have that sweet toffee note, you have that caramel notes, you have a little bit of a nutty note. If you take your nosing, all that lovely nosing notes, and you get all that lovely nosing notes in your taste, that makes me a happy person. So for me, also one of the best whiskies that I've tasted, 18-year-old, that I've tasted in a long time. So that is me on my list of 18-year-old whiskies. Whiskey that I would love to have on my bar, and maybe with one or two as a backup. So what do you think? Well, I have to pick a winner as well, and quite a difficult one for me, and it's a little bit the South African one, of course, is up there. Then of course I would also maybe go for the Buna or the Aaron. And this video for me took a lot of time and effort, picking the one that I think is one of the best whiskies for me for 2023 as an 18-year-old. And to be honest, well, I think I'm going to shock a lot of people, and I'm going to pick the 18-year-old Aaron. I think most of the other whiskies was sugar. Most of the other whiskies was a little bit of the sweet side, maybe the cherry monsters. I am a little moving away from the cherry monsters, and the Aaron 18, I think, is for me one of the nicest whiskies that I've tried, and it's something that you can drink at any time. So what do you think about the list? Is something on the list that you would agree to? What is your list of favorite 18-year-old whiskies? Leave a comment, and as usual, keep the lights on. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I see you next time. And of course, I do have something in the glass as well. Last sip. Cheers.